Welcome to The Other Dimension with the team, Damon Penny, Ben Winfield, and Louisa Brown. We guide you through the supernatural, the occult, and the unexplained, answering questions that will make you question your grip of reality, with special guests guiding you through everything from demons to divination, cryptids to crystals, religion to skeptics. We explore in depth the true meaning of the unexplained. So strap in, kick back, and enjoy as we enter the other dimension.
Hello everybody, welcome to The Other Dimension. I'm your host Kate. This is episode 4 of Got Stories to Tell, and I am delighted to have Don Elmi with us today. Just a big shout out. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for coming on, Don. I just want to say a big shout out to Ben and Lou and Damon. They're just having a break at the moment, so lots of love to them. And thanks to Things Network, because we're also showing on their network. So big shout out to Jeremy. Thank you so much. Hi, Natasha. How are you? Long time no see. How are you? Happy Easter. Great. So yeah, do you have any shout outs, Don? I know that you have a lot of fans on YouTube.
Oh, yes. I want to give a shout out to the Things Network. Shout out to my film partner, Nick. You know, like I wouldn't be able to bring the show FearFans podcast live without him. And also to some of my fans, and to Dead Souls, to Santi, to Leon, and let's see. Oh, I know, I'm trying to think of a few off the top of my head, but yeah, like
I'm sure they'll join us.
Oh yeah, babyface Thumper. She's one of my biggest. So I want to say thank you all for supporting my channel, supporting my live streams, my live shows. So
that's so nice, Don. We're going to talk about your YouTube stuff because you are definitely growing on YouTube, which is amazing. Hi, Lou. Yeah, we're both well, thank you. All good. And hi, Natasha again. Lovely. So, Don, let's get stuck in because I've got so many questions to ask you. You're a very popular person. You are an entertainment buff, and you currently have 5,000 subscribers. Well, it's 5.45k subscribers on YouTube, if I'm not wrong.
It's 5,472 right here.
Wow, it's even gone up.
It's gone up for the past few days.
Yeah, that's incredible. So when did you start your YouTube? Oh, hi, Charles. How are you?
Well, I started YouTube. I didn't start that like doing videos right away. I started this with a YouTube channel back in early 2011 when I was still at Western Kentucky University studying film. Yes, and I did that just to like comment on videos, like on trailers, give my viewpoints on them. And then I started, thinking, you know what, I should start making videos, but what can I do? So I just experimented with a few things. I just started doing gaming videos, but then I wasn't having much progress with that. But then I started doing reaction videos. One of the first being the trailer for Krampus, that holiday horror film from 2015.
Oh, so. Yeah, that's like the German kind of creepy Santa Claus thing.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like the dark opposite of Santa.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. And so I started doing that and started reacting to like some viral videos, like my reactions to like Home Alone based content, the Home Alone franchise. Yeah, that's been getting a lot of views. In fact, let me take a look at how that video is doing. The one that's got, here, like most watched one is Home Alone 4 with health bars, which is like I reacted to this video where people have like health bars that was showing how much damage they take throughout the movie, and it's got over 111,000 views.
Wow, that's an achievement. It really is. So those who are not familiar with reaction videos, could you just describe it for us, like what the video is about?
Oh, well, I it's where I display the where I'm reacting and watching the video like in live, just like having it displayed in like a bottom corner so that people can see what I'm watching. And I just like and people can see how I'm reacting to something as I'm watching it. And then after that, the video's over, I share my thoughts. And I do this very frequently with movie trailers. One of the most recent movie trailer reactions I did was to that not so promising remake of The Crow. Yeah, I still think the original is going to be way better.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Oh, Nick.
Look who it is. Hi, Nick. How are you?
There you go, my film partner right
there. Absolutely. You two are besties, aren't you?
Yep, since we were 12.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's lovely. Great. So you have a lot of views on your reaction videos, but you don't just do reaction videos, do you? You also do gameplay, you said?
Yes, that's something I actually started a year ago. Because about a year ago, that's when like the biggest game out at the time was Resident Evil 4 remake, which I absolutely love. I'm a huge fan of Resident Evil. And so I decided, you know what, since I'm already doing my horror podcast, I might as well just, now that I have the PlayStation 5, I got a camera for it now. So I figured, what, I'll try, live streaming, see how this goes. And so more and more people started watching. People love how I'm like playing the games, reacting to them. What I'm currently doing 3 games now: God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2, and of course the Minecraft live stream every Sunday, which you're part of, Kate.
Yes, it's so much fun. It really is. What I really like about your gameplays, Don, is that you don't talk all the time. You don't just, talk over it all the time. You kind of just leave a lot of space. You do interact with viewers with the comments, which is lovely. Oh, yeah. But you also want the viewer to enjoy it with you. So you're kind of playing it together. And that's how it feels. It feels like I'm in the room with you and we're just chilling, we're just playing a game, but there's nothing fake about it. It's very genuine and it's really, really nice to watch. And because a lot of the games I don't want to play, but I'd more than happy watch you play because you're doing all the hard work. So yeah, it's really great gameplays. It really is.
Oh yes, like when I do like these games, like then like my personality just always comes out. I'm always like being like having a joking nature, very wise guy-ish, like pointing out things that people don't normally notice. Like let's see, like what was one very recently? Oh yeah, like in let's see, like when I was playing Spider-Man 2, I was just like I'd like there was I'm trying to remember what it was, but there was like one part of that didn't really make sense like story wise, but
yeah, that's true. Like you always have a lot of one-liners when you're playing, and you take one-liners from lots and lots of different films and you throw them in there just to keep it funny. And sometimes the stories don't make sense. You're like, what is going on?
There was partially like there were some games where there has like a part of a story that didn't really make sense, like when I was playing Resident Evil 3 on my own recently, and there was where it is like a in-between game. It takes place like before and after events of Resident Evil 2, and you see where you have to unlock certain safes, and then you have to end up unlocking the same safes as different characters in Resident Evil 2, like in events that take place before Resident Evil 2 in the third game. Yeah, so a little bit of I know I was pointing out continuity issues.
Yeah. I guess they got lazy.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, convenient how we can unlock this and get that item, and it just magically reappears for the character in the previous game.
Yeah. Oh no, that's great. Definitely. I'm going to come to your podcast a little bit later. I'm kind of going to focus on the YouTube stuff at the moment, and we'll move on to that. I wanted to ask you. So you said that you studied at college film, and I want to ask you a little bit about that. Why did you decide to study that at college, and what kind of why pursue such a huge passion?
It's a passion I've had long before I set foot on that campus. I began studying film when I was just 5 years old, And after seeing Jaws on TV, which I have a poster of in the background, but yeah, instead of being terrified of it, like any typical 5-year-old probably would have been, I was instead fascinated with it, like seeing like how it was made, how this this tension throughout the film, and like all the acting, and of course the animatronic shark, and like how, and I was interested in like understanding how it was all done, and
Yeah.
oh yeah, and impressed to learn that the guy who made that was Steven Spielberg, the guy who produced all these other films that I enjoyed, like such as Gremlins and and also directed E.T. and
Mm,
I'm just like, wow, that's one of the reasons why he became one of my favorite directors, is because the
yeah.
man pretty much created of the majority of the films I cherish from childhood.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. That's quite a big film though for a 5-year-old to watch Jaws. Like that must be where you get your thrill of horror movies from.
and I remember New Year's Day 2000 when I was when I first saw Jaws 2 on TV, and also Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. So and again, was not terrified, was fascinated. Nothing
Yeah.
like, yeah, and there's this one thing. See, I grew up with Asperger's syndrome, a very mild form of autism spectrum disorder. But later years, people are saying that my condition is more and like has some characteristics of savant syndrome, and because of
Oh,
that, I've been able to remember just about every movie I've ever seen.
that's incredible. Oh my goodness. And you really do remember everything, like actors, lines, films, dates. Like it's honestly incredible. Wow.
Well, I yeah, it's just something I've always been able to do ever since I was little. And
And
it's not just that. I also apply the same thing to like books and video games, like because I'm a big Stephen King fan ever since I was a teenager. I always loved his work.
yes, yes. It's so fascinating, like how since you were a young child, you've just because I would be terrified watching those films. And I remember I watched Jurassic Park when I was 5, and I was terrified. I wouldn't even stay in a car by myself. So it's nice
Oh, the
that
T
you,
Rex.
yeah, because of the T-Rex. It's nice that you channeled that into like a real passion and just the thrill of it. Like that's really, really interesting. Hi, Vaughn, how are you? Nice to
Oh,
see you. Lovely. And so yeah, moving forward, so you've always loved films, and then you went on to study it. How was your
yes.
experience studying it?
It was really a great experience. Yeah, like going to Western Kentucky University, like they have all kinds of great classes. They have an editing lab, which I absolutely loved. Learning all about Final Cut Pro, and learning about the professional grade editing softwares that that they use in Hollywood, and
Wow.
and of course the film history classes, like learning about how Hollywood started and just built up, and
Yeah,
like all the challenges that came their way as far as audiences, and also they're having a rating system, like what is acceptable in film and what isn't, and how that's changed over the years.
yeah, that's
And
so fascinating.
I loved the fact that in Western Kentucky University, same university that horror director John Carpenter went to. The man who went there, he went on to direct and make all sorts of horror classics such as The Thing, Halloween, The Fog, They Live.
Wow, that's so cool.
Oh
Yeah.
yes. When I met him, he and I told him I was a student at the time at Western Kentucky University. He asked me how the film department was doing. Told him all about the editing labs and the courses. So he liked what I had to say about it.
Oh, that's so nice. Where did you meet him? Because you go to quite a few events, don't you? And Comic Cons
Uh,
and
yeah, it was a while back. It was over a decade ago. I just came across him. I told him who I was. That I was a student at his school that he's alumni of.
oh, that's so cool. Yeah, because you've met a lot of famous people, haven't you?
I have.
What's the most memorable person that you've met?
Hmm. Well, yeah, John Carpenter was definitely one of them, but Tony Todd, he was definitely one of the highlights. Tony Todd, who is an actor, he is known for playing Candyman, and he was
Oh,
oh yes, and let's see, he also and he was also playing Ben in the so criminally underrated Night of the Living Dead remake from 1990. I think he really did an amazing job with that role as well. And let's see. Oh, most recently he played the voice of Venom in Spider-Man 2, which I thought was just a
No
match made in
way.
heaven. Yes. So,
Yeah. Such a
and
good
when I met
voice.
him, oh yes, and when I met him, tall guy, 6'5", I felt like a little person standing next to him.
Oh man, that's tall. He should be like basketball player or something.
No, yeah, he's an amazing actor. Also, he was the mortician. Let's see, Bloodworth in the Final Destination movies. So
Right.
he's really made a name for himself in that genre.
Yes, he's huge both in the genre and both in real life.
Yeah.
Nice. I love your little video library. That's awesome. I have to ask you about that in a
Right.
second. Are you
Oh.
interested in comics?
Uh.
Oh,
Oh,
George
George.
A. Romero. Okay,
Yes, it was
nice.
great to meet. Oh yes, it was amazing being able to meet him. I mean, we right before he, like both of which unfortunately he's no longer with us. But it was just amazing having to meet a legend like him, who made all the amazing, who basically created the modern zombie, in
Yeah,
horror films, so like Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, everything from But yeah, that was an amazing experience meeting him, such a legend.
yeah. That's awesome. That's so
Yes.
good.
So
Yeah,
what was your
so my question was just about so you really like film, you really like games. What about books and comics? Because a lot of films are obviously adapted from books and comics. Are you interested in that
oh,
side
yes.
of it or yeah?
Oh yes, I do enjoy reading. Yeah, like ever since I was little, like I was, yeah, like that's one of the reasons why, even though I was autistic and like people with autism were in public schools was not really much of a thing back then. But they
No.
took me in because of my reading ability, because I was reading to my pre-K class like all those years ago, when I was just 4 years
Wow.
old. Yeah, and
Yeah.
so I've always enjoyed it. Like, I mean, a lot of things I love now I wasn't able to read back then, but yeah, I'm a huge Stephen King fan. He's one of the most brilliant writers of our time. Yeah, like
Yeah.
the Stand is one that I always like going back to. Amazing story.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the one about a pandemic, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I've yet to read that one. It's a big book, isn't it? Is it three
Yep.
parts?
I think it's 3 parts. Let's see, 1,817 pages, at least from the one that I read. It's
Yeah.
hands down the
That's a
longest
lot.
book I ever read. Yeah, but it's
Wow.
worth everybody. It's worth it. It's well worth
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I definitely have to read that. That's interesting. So that's one of your favorite books. Can I ask about the autism side? Do you think there's more support now? Because I know that you said when you were growing up there wasn't a lot of support. Do you feel
Oh
like
yes.
there's more support now? Because it's really a superpower. Like it's incredible what you're capable of doing. Honestly, I don't have that memory capacity.
Oh, it's no doubt there's more support of it than ever, because
Yeah,
I mean, essentially I was like a lab rat in some ways at public schools, because it's like they were trying to see how an autistic 4-year-old was able to adapt to public education, and also just so that teachers would actually like learn how to work with an autistic kid. Yeah, like
right.
what to expect, because that's the thing. Autism affects each individual very differently,
Yeah,
and I just happened to be on like among the highest part of the spectrum, highest functioning part of the
right.
spectrum. Yeah.
Right. Oh, no, thank you, John. I just wanted to ask about that because April is Autism Awareness Month as well. And it's so nice
Yeah.
to celebrate and to talk about all of these stories. And I'm glad that things are getting, like, there is awareness now because there wasn't growing up. And I hope you had good experiences growing up, even though you were a lab rat, but you really paved the way, to helping teachers in your area know how
Yep.
to teach. Yeah.
No doubt. And also disproving all that all the negative things that people say about
Yeah.
kids with autism, about what they're capable of becoming adults, thinking, oh, they can't live on their own. I live on my own. I have a condo.
Yeah. Not true at all.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
can't drive. And yeah, it's not true. I can drive, and I love driving.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Just breaking all of that stigma, it's just not needed at all.
Yes, right.
or just Ron talking about what she's been doing. And Tom, hi Tom, how are you? That's excellent. Okay. Did anybody influence you to start your YouTube channel when you were, like 10, how is 13 years ago now?
Yes.
2011? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, originally I just started it just so that I could comment on videos, like just like put my voice out there, like some and I got a lot of thumbs up for, like for people love hearing what I have to say in the comments of some of the viral videos that were around back then.
Yeah.
Let's see. I started covering doing reaction videos after seeing some of the bigger names out there, doing reaction videos, such as this one guy, Tyrone Magnus, who is does a whole bunch of trailer reaction videos like I do. Let's see, also the
Oh.
Real Rejects, they had that channel. So there was there were a ton list of people who influenced me.
Yeah. And what makes your channel different from those that influenced you and others out there? Do you think there's something unique about it?
Well, I feel like everybody just does it different. Me, like I did this channel. I to give a message saying that just show the high functioning side of autism. Like an autistic person, they actually is able to understand the message of each film, the cinematography, the symbolism.
Yeah,
Oh yes,
definitely. From all angles, isn't it? Your views.
yeah, and metaphors. One of my favorite film metaphors is this right here. Yeah,
Oh, okay. What's
yeah.
the metaphor in Godzilla?
Well, the metaphor of that is nature taking revenge on mankind for the development and use of nuclear weapons, and so it's like you're just witnessing like a nature getting back at mankind by releasing their own nuclear powered weapon.
Yeah, that's deep. Yeah,
Yes,
definitely. Such a good film as well,
oh yeah,
Godzilla.
it is true classic after even today, 70 years later.
Absolutely. When did it come out? The first original?
Gojira came out in 1954. And
1954.
oh yes, and since then they've been giving all sorts of new things for Godzilla to face, like all sorts of monsters, Mothra, Rodan, Ghidorah, all these guys, and
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for a Godzilla -1 to be released on streaming or on Blu-ray because
Yeah.
oh man, just seeing it in theaters isn't enough. I want to be able to experience an amazing film like that again, which made history at the Academy Awards, being the first Godzilla movie to win an Academy Award, and it
Yeah.
was first ever nominated to begin with. Yeah,
That's incredible. I cannot wait to watch it. I hope it comes out soon. Yeah.
yeah. Everybody should experience something like such an amazing triumph.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the original is Japanese, isn't it?
Yes, and so is this one.
Oh, nice. Oh, okay. So back to the roots, like real
Oh yeah.
Gojira, definitely. Oh, fantastic. Are there any actors that you particularly really like? If there's a film with an actor and you're like, oh yeah, I have to go and see it because he or she are starring in it.
As far as horror or just the genre or just film overall.
Yeah, you could say film overall, but if you want to go horror, you totally can.
Well, I would say film overall, Leonardo DiCaprio, because
Okay.
he's done all the work he's done. Titanic, Inception. One of my favorites in recent years is The Revenant. But
Mm,
it's a brutal but very compelling film.
it is very
Yeah.
heavy, isn't it?
And he started with horror. Yeah, Critters 3, which is pretty much the only reason why anybody would watch that, just for him.
That's so true.
But let's see. And as far as horror goes, let's see what actor. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Robert Englund was one of them because Freddy Krueger.
Yes, absolute legend.
Oh yes, he was. I'm just sad that he can't reprise that role anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah, but hey, we always have the good memories that he's given us.
that's true. That's true. I remember Christopher Lee. He was
Oh
very
yes.
good. Absolute legend in horror.
Oh, I loved him in The Wicker Man.
Yes,
Yes,
terrifying.
that was actually his favorite role that he's done.
Oh, that's it. I didn't know that. That's really interesting. Yeah.
Oh yes, the man is absolute legend, not just in horror, but for other films that he's done. Yeah, like Saruman and the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Let's see, Scaramanga and the Man with the Golden Gun.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Very, very good actor. Rest in peace because he did pass away. Bless
Oh
him.
yes.
Just looking at your video library, are
Mhm.
there any gems that you want to show people that you have? Anything specific in your video library that you're very proud to have? Because you have some very cool stuff in there.
Well, as far as subgenre, like thinking of like as far as each subgenre, my favorite found footage horror film. A lot of people keep saying like found footage horror film is Blair Witch Project or Paranormal Activity.
Mm.
My favorite found footage horror film is Wreck.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yes, this is from Spain, and it focuses on a news reporter doing like a human interest story, like focusing on a fire department. But they get called into a into an apartment complex where they learn that there is a plague loose, turning people into into flesh-eating monsters,
I have seen that.
like
That rings
zombies.
some bells. Yeah, that one's terrifying.
Yeah, it was remade. I mean, this came out in 2007, but it was remade and released in 2008 as Quarantine.
Oh, okay, that makes sense now. Hi, Jeremy, how are you?
Oh, my favorite horror film. My favorite horror film of all time is this.
Alien.
Yes. So amazing cinematography. Cast was was just incredible with their performances,
Yeah.
and a terrifying monster that they could not stop. And yeah, I just love the effects. There's so much to enjoy about Alien.
Yeah, and it was that is somebody, isn't it, in the alien prosthetics, isn't it?
Yes, yes, an
Yeah,
actor in a suit. Yes, that's
yeah, that's incredible. It
right.
really is.
Yeah, it's just amazing the work that they put into this. And yeah, and they got the new one coming out, Alien Romulus, which looks like it's gonna be another one of those return to roots kind of a deal.
Mm,
I'm thrilled about experiencing that this summer as well.
yes, yeah. What did you think of Alien versus Predator?
I thought it was all right. You know, like
Mm,
it's not the best film I've seen, but definitely not the worst. I think it's cool that they actually brought two of the biggest alien creatures in cinema history together. Because yeah, like because I also love Predator. Here, so we got Xenomorphs versus Yout. I'm still trying to figure out how they pronounce that Yautja because
mm,
they never say it in the movies.
no,
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 no.
yeah.
So that's the only thing I was disappointed in with that new Hulu movie Prey, which focuses on like the first predator that ever visited Earth. Because because I'm guessing like from the comics and games they call these creatures Yautja or Yautja. It sounded like a Native American word,
Mm,
which Prey does take place like at the time of Native Americans, still thriving, and I thought for sure they were going to say that word so I could finally know how to pronounce it, and then it's the end of the movie. Never happened. They
no.
never said the word, and I'm just like, oh, I thought I was going to learn for sure how to pronounce it.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna have to like ask somebody. If anybody knows, let us know how you pronounce that
But
word.
the most positive thing I can say about Alien versus Predator, it's better than Aliens versus Predator Requiem. That was terrible.
Oh, I missed out on that joy. I didn't see that.
Good.
And just go look for the comments quickly. So Tom says Cloverfield is mine. I think one of your favorite Toms. Is it
Got that as well.
Cloverfield? That's a very good film. And Eric, hi Eric, how are you? He
Oh,
said,
Grave Encounters. Yes, that is a good one.
Mm,
Yes. Yeah, I just love how it's available on all kinds of stream services. It's easy to find.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And then Tom also said Theatre of Blood.
Oh, that's right.
That's
Yeah, you
nice.
did mention that one before.
Yeah,
Yes, Tom.
nice. Okay. Before I move on to the Things Network and your podcast, do you have any future, any plans for the future of your channel? What's coming up on your channel on YouTube?
Well, I am going to be doing some more video game live streams. I've been getting tons of requests for all sorts of things, like continuing with some more Dead Rising games. Let's
Hmm.
see. Oh yeah, people want me to. There was one fan that wants me to cover the Spyro the Dragon games because 2024 is Year of the Dragon in the Chinese zodiac.
Oh, yeah.
So it would be cool to revisit that. A staple of my childhood.
Yeah.
And continuing on with the Fear Fans podcast, I'm gonna be doing like introducing some more horror content, like the topics, because so far we've been covering movies and TV shows, but I figured why stop there? We could also talk about video games as well. And so this coming Tuesday on the Fear Fans podcast, is when I wanted to cover the first horror game on the channel or on the show, which is a staple of my childhood, Resident Evil, one of my all-time favorite horror games.
That would be great. I'm really, really looking forward to that. Such a great game.
Oh yes, I love it to this day. Ever since my babysitter showed me those games when I was little.
Oh dear. I hope your parents didn't mind.
What they don't know won't hurt them. Just like when I snuck my sister's rented copy of Evil Dead that she had for a sleepover when I was 10. Right before they gave it back to Blockbuster, I snuck it, watched the whole thing. My parents never even knew about it.
Oh, the things we do.
Oh yeah, Evil Dead, to this day, another favorite of mine.
Yeah, that's just absolute cult classic, isn't it? Evil Dead really is.
Oh yeah. I was surprised at the time that the guy this is 2002. This is when Spider-Man was in theaters. Just saw Spider-Man before that. I see that and I'm like, the man who directed Spider-Man did this?
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of very, very different things going on in Spider-Man and Evil Dead.
Sam Raimi.
So I want to ask you about your podcast. So John has a podcast on Tuesdays on the Things Network, which also goes on your YouTube channel. And it's called FearFans Podcast. And it's 8:30 Central Time in the evening. So unfortunately, our UK viewers, it's going to be like 2:30 in the morning for them.
Right.
So yeah, but you can watch it on replay if you want to and comment and and join in. Absolutely. Could you tell us about why you started the podcast and with who you have the podcast with? Just give us an overview of the Fear Fans group.
Okay. Well, as I've stated, I've got into horror at such an early age, and over time, after all this time, there's like so much passion and knowledge that I had built up over the years for the genre. Because Nick, my childhood friend, and my co-host on the show, he's a big horror fan as well, and I'm thinking, I want to do something involving horror, right? I figured, should I do a show about it? Should I make some short films? But then, and I noticed Nick was associated with Things Network. He was doing some shows of his own, and I suggested to him, hey Nick, I noticed on the network there's not a horror show, and I was like, maybe the network should have one. So I pitched the idea to him, and they said that they basically just greenlit it. At the time, I didn't know what to call the show at the time, and not until like 4 episodes in, I finally decided calling it the Fear Fans Podcast. So
nice.
Yeah, Fear Fans coming from it was basically a name that the Crypt Keeper was calling his audience in Tales from the Crypt. So
yes, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So now you guys know the origin of the name Fear Fans Podcast.
That's so cool, and it is a great podcast. It's really, really fun. Everybody gets involved with the comments, and you have quite a few people on there as well. It can be ranging from like 4, 5, 6, 7, sometimes even 8 people joining you talking about a dedicated horror film. But you are branching out, as you said, you're going into horror gaming, but still all about horror.
All about the genre, yes.
It's great.
Focusing on the horror entertainment world.
Yes, it's very, very good. I really enjoy it. Hi, Hugh. How are you doing? Thank you for watching. Jeremy, it took him forever to come up with a monstrously creative name.
It's not just that. I had to make sure that the name wasn't taken. I had several ideas, and I looked them up, and I was like, oh, wait, they're taken. I got to come up with something else. So that's why it took a little while.
you got to get it right. I mean, it's important, definitely. And Chris said, "I love the podcast. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
That's so sweet." Nice. So I want to ask you. You're quite good at impersonations. You have some good kind of voices that you use for a few characters and a few actors. Would you like to be a voice actor? Because I totally think you could do it. You should do voice work.
I'm considering doing a video like just to send out there of me doing all sorts of different voices. Maybe it'll get somewhere, maybe not. But I mean, one of them actually did got me to where like when I was doing horror voices. Yeah, like there was this video from 2018, like right around Halloween, where I decided to voice a few horror characters. Actually, let me just go back a bit. I started doing like impressions when I was like 10, the time when Lilo and Stitch came out, and I like basically just mimicked his voice. Yeah, it's just like, "Oh, Hannah means family." That's my earliest example of when I was doing impressions. But
that's so good.
Built up voices all the time over time. Such as Sean Connery and Bill Clanton and Nicolas Cage.
No, Nicolas Cage.
But along with that, I started doing horror voices. Like when the movie It came out in theaters, I was just mimicking Pennywise the dancing clown.
You're so good, Don. Honestly, you have to do a video on those. You really do.
I did once before. It was when I did horror voices, where I did that Pennywise and also the original Pennywise, Tim Curry, where it's like, "I'll show you how to flow down here." That. And what really got attention was also Hannibal Lecter. When I was like one person actually saw that and said, "Hey, we would like to have you do that voice for a parody video where it's like a rap battle between Hannibal Lecter and John Kramer from the Saw movies." Yeah, so he heard me doing that voice, just being like, I wish I could chat more, but I'm having an old friend for dinner.
You're so good, Don. Oh, yeah, you have to be a voice actor.
Yeah, I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
So
oh yes, Chris has pointed out, saying like I'm able to voice Gollum as well. She's obviously seen the show where I've done that. Yeah,
you can do Gollum. I did not know this.
Yeah, and like
How do you do that?
I just alter my
I
just alter the vocal cords and just in a way where it just comes out as like this, like.
So good. I wish I could do that. It's such a good party trick.
Oh yes, and during high school, like me and all from other guys were watching Family Guy, and we discovered that I could do like Herbert's voice.
Oh yeah, do Herbert's voice.
Like so creepy, so funny at the same time voice. Like I was just like doing prank calls to people and just being like, "Sorry to leave you so many messages. Just wishing the paperboy would bring me some good news."
So good.
Excuse me, I'm looking for a car that's been tricked out to look like an ice cream truck. When I was doing prank calls like that as a teenager, it was so hard to do that and just do that voice and not laugh because I was just driving them nuts.
I can imagine, and also like the little whistle thing, like
he does. I don't know, like they based that character on somebody who actually has that kind of voice, who just does that whistle and an F sound, kind of like yes, like that.
So good. Even Nick's like, I can't. It's such a brilliant. Oh, so good. Please do a video. Like I'm just gonna laugh the whole time. So good.
And also like cartoon characters, like Tom kept pointing out that I was able to do like voices from Frank Welker, like the Cave of Wonders from Aladdin, where it's just like, "Who dares disturb my slumber?"
That's perfect.
And
They are spot on.
oh yes, and he does the same voice for Dr. Claw from the Inspector Gadget cartoon from the 80s, where it's like, "I'll get you next time, Gadget."
So good. So it's the same guy. I did not know that.
Oh yes, Frank Welker. He's one of the
Awesome.
biggest voice actors for cartoons. Voicing Fred and Scooby Doo, which is like basically just his normal voice. And
Yeah.
he's done Transformers. The list goes on. The man is a true legend in cartoons.
That's awesome. Chris says, can you do that cool whip Family Guy thing?
Oh, like Stewie's voice? No, I can't do Stewie's voice.
I have to teach you with my British accent, Don. Step by step. Nick can do Homer Simpson. Can he? Can you do Homer Simpson, Nick? We should do a full episode of FearFans just talking as Herbert. Been doing it since 90. Oh, I thought Nick was replying to he's been doing Homer Simpson's voice.
No. He's referring to Frank Welker.
Yeah. Oh, no, I can't, he says. Okay. That's so cool. So yeah, we're waiting for that video, Don. Absolutely. We'll get 1 million likes for all the cool voices you can do.
Yeah, like one of my friends at college that even told me at one point we were playing Call of Duty online, meeting some of the guys around there, and he was like, "Hey Don, you told me before you could do Herbert's voice, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" And he said, "Can you pretend like you're Herbert in the game and you're hunting us down?" And I'm just like, "Oh, come on!" He's like, "No, please do it." He's like, "Please do it." So I'm just like, "I know you're close by. I don't need the mini map to find you. I can smell you from a mile away." You're like,
so good.
I may be elderly, but I maintain some keen senses that can detect your every movement.
We have to do a Minecraft manhunt thing, and you have to do the voice, and it would just be like Herbert plays Minecraft or something.
If we ever encounter a dragon in that game, I got it. I'll just face them and just be like, "You shall not pass."
Oh, we have to find a dragon now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and for my niece and nephews, they know I can do voices too, but I keep it kid stuff. They love Mario games, so I'm just like, "It's a me, Mario. Woohoo! Let's go."
It's really good. Oh, I bet they love you.
And here's my Luigi too.
Tom's voices, but in horror movies. Yes. Oh, that's so good. I just want to ask, your cousin is an actor, right?
Oh, she's an actress, yes.
Oh, actress, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Yes, my cousin Ellie. Yeah, Ellie Coburn. Yeah, she's starred in all sorts of different movies and shows. She's been in some of her most famous movies that she's been in was American Reunion, which was back in 2012. Let's see, Neighbors. That's another big one. Yeah, that one with Seth MacFarlane or not Seth MacFarlane, sorry, Seth Rogen, and what was Zac Efron. And her latest work now, I might as well, I should let you guys know. Her latest work thing that she's done is a TV show, it's like a family drama series, that has a lot of Christianity into it, called The Baxters, which is on Amazon Prime. It just premiered a couple days ago. So if you guys haven't had a chance to check it out, please do. Yeah, show some love and support.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely going to watch that. Okay, Tom. Happy Easter.
Oh, yeah, happy Easter.
Good weekend. Thank you for watching. Have you ever been interested? So you said your cousin, she's in it. Would you ever consider signing up to be an extra or kind of going along with her?
I could.
Do you think that could be something you'd like to do in the future? Because that would be awesome if you could really get in there in the film industry.
I would be interested. Yes, I'm. But basically, lately, I've just been exploring all my options. Just trying different things.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind trying that as well.
Definitely, fingers crossed, because you need to be in the film industry 100%.
But hey, my voices would be something to fall back on. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Even if they're the knockoff cartoons or something, it doesn't have to be the real ones. It kind of reminds me Disney movies when they did the second or third film, like Aladdin.
Oh yeah.
The voices were never the same, were they? They were kind of
Right, like for example, the Aladdin movies, like
Yeah.
Robin Williams, and then the second film, like Return of Jafar, was Dan Castellaneta. Yeah,
Yeah.
not saying I dislike the guy. Dan Castellaneta, amazing voice actor. Homer Simpson. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
But just not the original. But you could totally do something like that if there's a sequel.
just thinking about Aladdin really makes me miss Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe it's been 10
Rest
years
in
now.
peace. I
Yeah.
know. That was a terrible loss, definitely.
Oh yeah.
I just want to ask you a little bit about the paranormal because you
Right.
absolutely love horror,
Right.
and something that comes with horror obviously is paranormal. You
Mm-hmm.
normally the other dimension is a paranormal and explores kind of that side of life.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had any paranormal experiences before?
A few in the past. One very recent was when we were on this paranormal investigation, like back back in July, or not July, sorry, January.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to give out too much about it because that's still like the investigation is still ongoing.
Okay.
But I will say this. But yeah, it was my job to to document a few things. Like I just had my my tripod on my phone, my camera on my phone going, and there was one of our associates was taking like some pictures around. Like just holding his phone. Exactly like this.
Yeah.
Exactly like this. Like no obstruction in the lens, right?
Yeah.
When he showed me a picture that he took of me there with the rest of the people, there was this black spot that was obscuring my face. There was it
What?
wasn't a filter. It didn't. I like there's no filter setting I can think of that comes with the phone that could do that. And yeah, and remember he had his phone exactly like this. Nothing was covering the lens at all.
That's weird.
And I'm like, wow, that is weird.
Yeah. Does
Yeah.
anybody have any theories? Anybody that who's watching? Let us know. What could the black? So Nick says it was like a black mass
Mm-hmm.
in front of your face. That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
like, wow, that's
worked as production assistants on two movies. Nice.
yes, we have. We worked as production assistants and also extras. Like I actually did play. Yeah, like I'm shocked I didn't bring this up. I actually did play a part of this short film that were made by some friends of ours, where I played a mental hospital orderly. Like I was just playing
Oh gosh.
yeah. So I was playing a real tough guy. I was just like shoving patients back, just being like, she's like, pick up back, face that wall.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah,
Yeah.
like that. But and after it was all done, like I just want to make sure I made sure like the other and like cast members were not like freaked out by me. I was just like, hey, I swear, totally nice guy in real life. Hey, we're all friends here.
Yeah. It's called acting.
Yeah, all good.
Hugh said, "Have you tried to repeat the picture? Like, was it only just one image, wasn't it?"
It was just that one image.
Yeah, and then I guess like
I mean, he took several images around, yeah, but just only think like one or two of me, and that
yeah,
picture had that spot on there, and I'm just like, how did that spot on there? I mean, he wasn't covering the lens at all, so I'm not,
yeah.
I still can't figure out how that was something like that would happen.
I wonder if you can kind of play with the image a bit, like with the saturation or the brightness, like try and see if anything comes of it. Maybe that would be quite interesting to see. Yeah, maybe playing around with it a little bit.
Right.
As a photograph. Okay. We were tough guys.
in that movie, yeah.
Nice. Okay, so what's your opinion related to the paranormal? I mean, are you a believer? Are you still a skeptic?
I don't consider myself so much of a skeptic, because there are some things in this world that have yet to be explained. I firmly believe that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
because it's like you get eyewitnesses around the world who see all sorts of things. People who have like there have been people who have good reputations, don't go around spread things. They some of like they could, maybe they are seeing something out there.
Yeah.
And of course, horror is heavily inspired by these stories.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's a lot of ground that comes from those. Could it have been a change in the light?
Oh no, we didn't change any lights.
No, that's interesting.
As far as I know, he didn't change any functions on that phone, and there's not one function I could think of that completely eliminate my face with a black mass.
Yeah, black mass is very unusual. I mean, there's been a lot of cases of orbs and, circles of light, but
Right,
black mass is quite rare.
I've heard about those, yeah. And
Mm.
also, there was a haunted location at my university, at Western Kentucky University, at
Oh,
Van Meter Hall, which is like where they do all kinds of, which typically where they have all the theater classes. There's a stage in there and everything. And there have been reports about blood, droplets of blood, dried blood that was on the stage, and they try to clean that off, and it just doesn't come off.
oh my gosh.
And there have been people like seeing shadows, see people see like there have been some things that have been going on there.
Yeah.
And I took classes there.
Yeah. Yeah. Could you also feel when you were in there like something was a bit off? Because sometimes it's just a feeling, isn't it?
Well, on occasion I did have a feeling. Yeah,
Mm.
I did. I remember just being there. I was not just film, but I also had a minor in theater, and so I've been spent a
Oh.
lot of time at that hall. I was where I worked as like a run crew for Pirates of Penzance when they were doing that there.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
taking things on and off the stage in between acts. So
Yeah.
I have a lot of experience working at that theater, and yeah, I've been hearing other people's stories and experiences there. So
Yeah. I have heard that theatres generally are quite haunted for
mhm.
various reasons. I remember where I grew up in Norwich, um, there was the Madder Market Theatre, and that was kind of legend that it was haunted. And because I did dance, a lot of dancing when I was younger, and every time we had a show there, every time somebody would have an accident, somebody fell off the stage, somebody broke something, and there was a legend and that there was a curse um, related to that theatre. And it's just like, okay, maybe there's some truth to that because every time something happens. So yeah, interesting.
Yes, here I'm on WKU's main website now, and they actually do have a link to ghost stories. They actually have been keeping track of this
Oh,
stuff. And I'm going to Van Meter Hall. Let's see.
that's
Oh,
interesting.
here, yes, here. They even say on the website that they have one commonly known story known to students is a construction worker fell through the skylight in the lobby and is killed. In this story, it is said that the blood of the worker reappears even when the floor is washed. Okay, that's what I was talking about earlier.
Oh my gosh,
So it's
that's horrendous.
let's
Poor
see.
guy.
Ghost of a student who was hanging lights above the stage and fell to the floor below. So yeah, like there's all kinds of hazards that can come with working at a theater. So yeah, we
Yeah.
all have to be careful. I never had to, set up lighting way up there. I would, that wasn't my field, but yeah, there have been accidents that have happened at that theater.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Something about theatres. Maybe there should be a horror movie about, and not just Phantom at the Opera. There should be a horror movie about theatres.
actually there is.
Is there?
Yeah, one that came out 2015, around the time when I graduated Western Kentucky University, called The Gallows, but it wasn't really that great. But yeah, where
Oh,
the whole premise of it is like three students break into like the school at nighttime to like sabotage the set of a theater when they were doing a show of The Gallows, and
okay.
and they learned that the spirit of a student who was doing the role in The Gallows like 20 years before, who had died from a prop accident like 20 years before, his spirit may be haunting that stage, haunting that school in the form of the hangman from The Gallows.
Oh, wow.
So I've seen the trailer, and it caught my interest. But when I saw the film, I feel like there's some things about it that could have been better.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, I feel like it's worth seeing.
yeah. Oh, that's good to know. Hugh says the pic might have been a small gnat or a bug on the lens if it was warm weather.
It wasn't warm.
It's January, right?
It was winter. Yes,
Winter, yeah.
winter time in Wisconsin.
Interesting. Nick just wants to say just so you know, we had some interesting responses at the Masonic Lodge last night.
Huh.
We are planning on making a second visit. Yeah, Nick went on a very interesting investigation last night. It was in
Yes, I wanted to get to Nick about that later on.
Indiana. That's it. Yeah,
That's right.
very interesting. Nick says it was snowing that night.
Oh yeah.
And the picture was taken inside, not outside.
No, it wasn't outside.
Yeah, that's interesting. If you if it's okay to show the picture, maybe like you could send it to me and I can kind of show everyone. I can send it, but if not, like it's not a problem at all.
Right.
Just
Nick. I'm sure Nick would know the person who took the picture.
Yeah,
this is the guy that I mean. Yeah, I just met him that night, so I hardly know the guy. But
yeah,
I can check with Nick.
Sure, that's great.
I just wish I could remember the guy's name.
No worries.
I keep coming across. I always meet somebody name faces and for a short. It's like if people I don't see for a long period of time, and sometimes it's hard to keep track. When you meet all these people.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's a lot of names to remember.
Yeah.
So Donald could do an investigation using those voices. Can you imagine?
Oh. Yeah.
Joe's crew member has it. I'll see if I can reach out to him. Thanks, Nick. That's great. Awesome. So was that your first investigation that you went on?
Oh no, I've been on several investigations with Nick primarily.
Okay. And is it something that you're really interested in? Are you going to pursue that or?
Oh yes, because I pursue it like every once in a while when I have the chance to. Yeah, because I see it like as a form of thrill seeking.
Yeah, definitely. Has anything else particularly happened to you, or was it just that one time with the photo?
With that photo, and also like feeling of uneasiness at that one place where we explored when we went over to. It wasn't at this place where they filmed Shawshank Redemption. That state penitentiary. This is at a different location. Nick, I'm sure you remember that house that we were at nightfall. I'm trying to remember the name of that house. Oh yeah, Crown Point Jail. Yeah, that.
Right.
Yeah, that was where they filmed Oh no, this is something else. But yes, we have been to Crown Point Jail. Yeah, we have investigated there as well. But yeah, there was a feeling of uneasiness that I had there too.
And, must be very eerie, that place.
Yeah, I thought we had like a recording of a voice or something there.
Yeah, that's interesting. Do you have any?
Mansfield Reformatory. Yes, that's where they filmed Shawshank. But there was also a house that we went to after that. It was like a historical house. It's the one where I got chased by that bat.
Oh no!
Not chased by it. I'm sorry, not chased by it. It just like flew past my face a few times.
Oh yeah, that's quite scary when that happens.
The Gill House, yes, that's the one. Gill House, yes. Yeah, there was a feeling of uneasiness that I had there, and just exploring there. We had like readings that were going off on some of the devices.
Right.
Yeah, so we were trying to see if we can capture EVP, but I'm not sure if we made that much progress with that. But it was still a very thrilling experience.
Yeah. Was the Gill House, was it furnished, like kind of museum-like, or was it abandoned?
It's museum-like. I wouldn't call it abandoned. There's still people there that maintain that that own the place. I'm sure it's being maintained to some degree.
Right. I see. That's interesting. And how old was the house? Do you know? Was it quite old?
I'm trying to remember the exact day, the exact date. I'm sorry, not date, the year that it was built. Nick knows more about it than I do.
Yeah, no worries. So they've been wanting us to come back. Been fixed up pretty well. That's interesting. Nice.
Oh yeah, I would go back to that place.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. So future investigations are coming your way. Do you think you're going to invest in some paranormal equipment, or are you just going to leave that to Nick?
Well, hey, Nick's got all the gear, so I don't have to do anything. I don't know as far as gear stuff, but you can count on me for as far as video and audio recording.
Yeah,
that's my thing.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I invest in like all kinds of equipment, such as this microphone, for instance, that I just got. So.
Yeah. I think because you do a lot of podcasting and streaming, like it's great to have the proper equipment, isn't it? And the microphone sounds lovely, really good.
Yeah, I'm investing in new cameras as well. So
Yes. Yeah. Nice. Well, thank you so much, Don. I think we'll leave it there. We'll definitely have to talk to you at a later date once you get even more famous from your YouTube and your voice work.
oh yeah.
Is that when Nick was born?
Oh,
Good
oh
one,
man.
Chris. That's great. So I just want to say big thank you to Don for coming on the show. It was an absolute pleasure to talk to you
Oh,
and
thanks for
ask
having me.
you everything. No, thank you so much. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much for all of your comments, and we will be back soon with another show. I'm not sure who it's going to be, but I'll keep you posted. Ben and Lee will also keep you posted about their shows coming back on. So thank you very much. Happy Easter, everybody, and happy Easter, Don.
Happy Easter. Happy Easter to you all.
Bye, guys. See you
Take care.
soon.